Hello, everyone. It is Craig here.
And Kylie here.
Yeah, we're looking up at that.
I know, I keep
I
looking
looked at that too, and I was like, no,
It's up
this.
there.
Yeah,
There it is.
because the camera that I have pointed at us is up to the right of my monitor, but I want to look at that because we have the chat up on the monitor. Oh, we just got a thumbs down. How
Bum, bum,
wonderful.
bum.
Fantastic. Yeah, so just trying to get used to it. It's also difficult because I haven't had to do this by myself. Or wait, I've only done this by myself.
You
I
haven't done it with another person in the room.
Exactly.
There we
Except
go.
for when you came in the very first night that Pete and I did one of these night sessions. I don't know what it's called.
Live stream?
Yeah, it's a live stream, but
Okay.
yeah, so nothing too exciting with this. It's Friday. People had a week, I'm sure. We had a week, and I figured, well, you know what? It's probably a hashtag somewhere on Instagram or Twitter or somewhere else, Fireworks Friday. So that was kind of what started this whole, like, the live stream at night thing. It started with, oh, I'll just play some fireworks, and sorry, let my dog look out the window even though it's dark outside right now. But yeah, no, I was like, okay, well, the first one was, let's just play some fireworks and test the equipment and stuff like that. Oh, hey, Josh.
Hey.
And so it went well and turned into a 2-hour live stream with Pete. But this one isn't going to be nearly as long because, as I said in the chat before this started, I am exhausted. And I'm looking forward to not being done with this, but I'm looking forward to going downstairs soon and having a beer and enjoying the rest of my night.
Good for you.
Oh, thank you very much. But yeah, so we figured we would just do this before we kind of wrap up my work day and kind of the work weekend work week to a point. But I got to put in a little work tomorrow and Sunday, but only like 8 hours each day. Nothing major.
It's better than 13.
Yeah. So I need some Four Rivers too. More than thrills. The one thing we've talked about was we're trying to just only cook in right now. So if we were going to go and order out any places and do carry out, which I mean we really should do to help support small businesses, but.
Yes.
But if we were going to give in to that, where we would want to go to one of two places. Either we have a pizza place by our house that we like, or good. Four Rivers.
Both sound so good.
I
want fried okra more than I can say.
Yeah.
I have to stop touching my face.
You do need to stop touching your face, but it's all fine. Tiki Andy, Tiki Andy, I know we know each other because I've met you. I got the pin you gave me hanging on the board right in front of me. But now I do not have any Bottle Logic beer on me right now, except I have 3 bottles of Fundamental Observation, or 2 bottles, and I am not drinking them until they age just a little while longer. So I don't have anything like that, but we're obviously, after we're done doing this, we're gonna do a little small question and answer thing. Not too much though, again, but I wanted to I can't remember what I was gonna say with it.
I can't help you.
You can't help me either. It's distracting because I was looking through because I thought we missed a couple things here and there, and
Hi, Amy.
You didn't. Yes. Hello to everyone. So,
hello, everyone.
I'm guessing a couple people are probably wondering what fireworks video are we going to play, because we posted in the description that we were going to play some fireworks video, but I wasn't going to give it away. And luckily, the only person I think who's actually mentioned it in the chat so far did mention the show that we're actually going to be watching tonight. I can't screw up fast enough to find out where you were, but long story short, we are going to be watching Wishes tonight. Oh, yeah, fine. In fact, we're going to be watching the final version of Wishes that I filmed. Were you there with me that night?
Probably.
You don't remember?
No, I'm so
No.
sorry. I stand in front of your camera a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
know you do. Yes, I do know you do, but I didn't remember if you were with me that night. I know that you definitely weren't there the night of Happily Ever After. You
No.
skipped on that, and I think you were there though on that final night.
I can't tell you. I'm sorry.
It's been a while. So what that because that was 2016, 2017 when that happened. I don't even remember anymore. It feels like a blur. It's all been
Oh,
so
then
long and
I
crazy.
wasn't there.
What? What were you saying? No way. Well, that answers that question. Thank you for pointing out that Kylie was not there for it. I could have swore she showed up, but I mean, I can understand why she wouldn't want to because when I go into my fireworks work mode, I get very very kind of crazy. I'll just put it in that nicest way possible.
Kind
Lonnie,
of?
yeah, kind of. Lonnie, I can buy Einstock anywhere at the stores around. It's actually sold in some grocery stores as well as Total Wine. So I have bought it before, and our ABC stores as well too. But in terms of, you're not wrong, Steve. You're not wrong. But in terms of the fireworks show, so just to give you a little background on it, I think I filmed it. You'll correct me in here if I'm wrong, but I want to say we were kind of right at the crest of the middle of Main Street, or not the middle of Main Street, but the crest of the bridge in between the hub and Main Street. So that's usually my fireworks spot if I'm going to film it where I want to be. So just because right at that kind of middle crest, you're at the highest vantage point, and it's when by highest I mean maybe like the people who are down further in front of you or back behind you, you're kind of like you maybe like a foot off the ground higher than they are, but that still makes a difference because I have to throw my camera up on a massive tripod, and I don't want to block as many people as possible, especially in an instance like this one. So it's you want to go high enough to get over people's heads, but also not so high that it's distracting, especially like I just didn't finish my sentence there. For a show that's this important to people, you don't want to be that guy who completely blocks them out. But this show, I know for a fact that we were I was there hours and hours early. So, because that's one of the other things I try to do for these big occasion shows. I want to make sure that I'm in my spot planted for a good amount of time early, so that way people know that they know exactly what I'm doing. They see the tripod up, they see where it's at, and they don't want to, they can choose if they want to be in front of me or they can get behind me, whatever they want to choose, but they at least know what I'm doing. So it's not a surprise then when the camera comes out. But they don't really get funny about having a tripod. So it's honestly the hardest thing to do is go into Disney with a monopod, because they just immediately assume it's a selfie stick, and because they ask you like, well, does it extend, and you have to be like, well,
Yes.
yeah, it's a monopod, but it's not that. It's a monopod that I'm going to use for steadying my recording, not for turning a camera on me. For that, I literally just used my phone and stick out my arm and do it that way. No, I'm not fancy or anything in that form, but yeah, so the tripod's pretty easy to get in. It's more I just hate I hate carrying around my tripod because it's so big and heavy.
Yes,
So,
it is.
yeah, it's obnoxious. But so yeah, I've been talking for 10 minutes now, so why don't we go ahead and start with the fireworks. We're gonna still be in the corner of the screen, and we'll kind of talk through as it goes on, talk about the parts we like, answer other random questions too. The video can already be seen anytime you want over on youtube.com/wdwinfo. It's very, very easy to find. I think I made a playlist right on the front screen that says like Disney fireworks. So very, very simple to find all of our fireworks. And but you're also coming here probably to hear my inane rambling and see my My stupid
This
shirt I'm wearing.
fancy shirt, so good.
It's my dad's shirt.
Yeah,
I
love
bought
your
it.
dad's shirts.
I bought it solely in case I ever went to a Jimmy Buffett concert, and that's exactly where I wore it for the first time in public. So, okay, so let's go ahead and get rolling on that video, and we'll kind of talk through it here. So let me see if I remember how to do this now. I think I hit the big video button.
That's good start.
Yeah. Oh, look at
It's pink.
It is pink. When are we going cruising again? Maybe November. Maybe.
Maybe. Let's get weird.
Oh, the music's starting. So one of the things you might initially notice about this video, as well as my Happily Ever After one when we play that soon, I am so mad about this because the castle looks kind of straight, but it's just slightly tilted. And that...
No one would have noticed, but now that you pointed it out, that's all I see.
Yeah.
I like that you can hear someone singing.
That's why I was being quiet through this.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so yeah, that first part, you could obviously hear a ton of people singing along with it, and that was, it was actually really, really cool and really surreal with it. But then, as soon as that ended, there was a couple people singing here and there very quietly, but for the most part, people stayed, like, extremely, extremely quiet throughout this entire thing, and... I was above a lot of people, and people would have to struggle. I could turn it up yeah. It's hard because I'm not watching the actual stream. I'm just watching it on my computer, so I'm not positive of how loud it is for y'all. So I'm gonna start a little bit more here, and you tell me when it's at the right place. So we'll start there. And if you need it up more, you let me know. But, yeah, not a lot of people even had their phones out for this. It was, if they did, they kept them down, and they actually paid attention to the show because it was the last show.
I love that someone pointed out Mystery Science Theater. What an honor.
Review, bro.
Review, bruh.
It's very low and we're loud. Is it better though? We're hot over the top. A little more? Okay. I'll give you a little more. You let me know if that's too much now. Oh, Shannon, I want to say it was probably... I probably like somewhere between 2.5 and 3 hours. So the issue for staking out the fireworks spots is actually that with like if there's a move it shake it that's happening at night, then if there's a move it shake it that's happening that night, then the problem is that you have to wait. You can't be in the middle of the street while that's happening because they need it off so they can move the floats to and there. But you still kind of tell people where you actually, like, you're gonna tell everyone around you, like, okay, I know I'm going there, so get out of my way and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of give or take. Okay, we'll try that with our audio as well too, pulling it back just slightly. Thank you for letting me know. Like I said, I'm not listening to the actual broadcast, so it's hard to figure out. So pretty. See, I actually miss these non-projection shows because one of the better things about the non-projection shows is that I could actually focus in on the fireworks instead of the castle. So the fireworks come through. These ones are a little bright. I probably could have dropped the exposure a little bit, but the fireworks themselves are extremely in focus. But unfortunately, now that I have to get the focus on the castle for these projection shows, usually the fireworks are very soft in the background, and I could find ways to, fix it a little bit better, but
I think it's lovely.
Yeah. Woohoo!
Steps in and sees you through. When you wish upon the star, dreams come true.
I like that Mike said, glad there wasn't too much wind, and now I think I just hear the wind right there. And we're watching this slightly ahead, so... I can tell you what, I would be a lot harder on myself with this show if you see the kids' heads that are just off to the right side of the frame. If that would have ended up in the middle of my shot for the final show, I probably wouldn't even have posted it. I would have had a really bratty meltdown when I got home that night.
Never.
Gareth, it was overnight. This was the, if I remember correctly, which I believe I do, 99.9% positive it was Wishes was this night, and then it was Happily Ever After. Or at least that might just be the bad memories in my mind.
Let your conscience be your guide. Let your conscience be your guide. Let your conscience be your guide. Swings in the magic mirror come from the farthest space through wind and dark. Let me see thy
JA, there's going to be a lot of projections. Yeah, I was a little hard on myself before, but this one actually is pretty darn good. So I got, you can see Walt and Mickey just slightly, the partner statue, and the colors really popped on the castle. Like you could see the magic mirror talking there. The only thing that I get really mad about is at kind of like right at that spot, I don't like that I cut off the very top of the fireworks, and I know it happens to the finale. I don't care about those ones though, because those are so much closer.
You gotta be careful what you wish for around here, or you'll get yourself in an awful mess.
That's the best part.
Just when things go bad, fate steps in to see you through. Well, I'll be. It's the Blue Fairy! We must always believe in our wishes.
There's the wind.
They are the magic.
There is the wind.
Now, place all your hearts together.
Yeah, I love Happily Ever After. I'm not sure if there's a better moment in Happily Ever After than the Blue Fairy moment of this show.
It's really sweet.
It's just, we love Jiminy Cricket, so that also helps a lot. But
Yes.
then the Blue Fairy, and
Oh, I'll be.
it's perfect.
And also the little kid voices kind of get to me every time.
Everyone loves the little kid voices.
Not everyone.
Who doesn't love little
I-
kids singing?
You?
You see, it's just like I told you. Wishes can come true if you believe in them with all your heart. And the best part is,
Charlene,
run out of wishes.
there are still a ton of fireworks. I would say there's just as many, maybe even more, because the show's a little longer. But the projections really do. You don't notice them as much because of the projections. But when you have that perfect spot, the projections literally, like, they sync perfectly with the fireworks, and that's the full experience. And, you know, like, this is a perfect spot where you do get that dual element of fireworks and projections. But if you're too far back, then you really miss out, or if you're too close, you miss out. That's the shot I hate. I missed.
Oh, how disappointing.
That's a lot of fireworks that I missed.
Yeah, but think about all the ones you got.
It's never about the ones you get.
Yes, it
It's about the ones you missed.
See what little wish you can do?
Ah. That's it. That's it.
is. Great job.
That was a little kid singing it creepy.
Told you.
Oh no! Little kids singing. It's magical. It's one of the most magical things you could ever have is little kids singing it. So this is the next part where everyone starts singing. Belt it.
Oh, they sound good.
Oh, and then you can see the phones are coming out. They're acting like it's a concert too. But that's why this wasn't like I kept rolling because it's the last show, so I want the entire outro of it too. But it was like one of those cool moments. Now that anyone who was there and singing it along with them, at least they do have this forever that they can be like, oh, I was in that crowd singing. Yeah, but they're a little pitchy, a little off.
They
I
did the
think.
best they could.
Oh, yeah, they did the best. So, okay, who's got questions? I know there was a couple as we were going along that I was answering, but we've got a little bit of time here to answer some questions. So, go ahead and start asking them. When this is over, I'll cut away from it. Pair the phones more and more now. It's beautiful.
So, ooh.
Ooh. Ooh, little pitchy.
Ooh. Someone said it's good.
Okay. I got some rolling in here. When will we see fireworks after parks open back? You know, I didn't think about that because fireworks are, they're not, I mean, they are expensive,
They
but
are expensive.
they're expensive, but at the same time, people know they're a draw. And I feel like, they're going to try it. I feel like Disney would want them to be running fireworks. Disney would want fireworks to be right back up right away. They're not going to want to like ease into it. They're going to
I
want.
can see that, but you also easing into it to maintain distance. I don't know if that's going to be something that they're going to
Yeah,
enforce.
yeah, that's also, I guess, a good question, a good point to make in that. So, what's my favorite firework video I ever made? Oh, this one is up there with it. I don't like my happily ever after video. That's why I hate that there's like 2 million views on it, because that is one, like I mentioned during this one, that my tripod was slightly off, so the camera was slightly tilted. You can see it really badly. And oh, you coughing?
Sorry.
You coughing? You can see it really, really badly in Happily Ever After, so it drives me nuts. I can't watch the video. I hate watching it so off. I probably some of the ones I love the most was when I first started filming fireworks and got really good at it. It was at Hollywood Studios back before they were so projection heavy and they were just straight fireworks shows, like 2013, 2014. Like, you would come with me, and I had my one spot on the main stretch.
Yes, you did.
That I would be there before they put the tape down, and because I knew exactly where I was
Yes.
standing, and I knew with my camera, the wide angle lens that I would put on, I know exactly where it needed to be.
You
And
stood in the corner like a creep waiting for your spot.
I did, and I just like, I loved them there. So there are some videos that are from way back then that I loved shooting. There's one, like, there was one of the Symphony in the Stars Star Wars fireworks they did for Star Wars weekends. I want to say it was 2014. We got hit with a copyright mark on it as soon as it released. So it took years before it lifted because of all the John Williams music in it. And then once it became available to watch, it only has like 80 views on it because no one knows it's out there. So that's one of my favorite ones. And the 25th anniversary of Hollywood Studios fireworks, those were pretty not 25th, 20th anniversary. Those were pretty fun too. But which show do you prefer, Happily Ever After or Wishes?
I like Wishes.
Yeah,
I do.
I love Happily Ever After, and maybe it's not fair to just watch this and
I
then
know,
not
that's
watch Happily
hard,
Ever
yeah.
After and really compare the two. But watching this, it's been a while since I've watched my Wishes video, so I really enjoyed watching that, even though we talked through it, but I watched it earlier today too. We sound drunk. I promise you, we are not.
Sober.
Yeah, we are 100% sober right now, so.
But thank you. So kind.
Yeah, it's 9:45. I've been working all day. So have you. We're tired. That's what happens. Wow.
Steve Crow. That's the bot that I prefer in Mystery Science Theater.
Okay. Sorry, I'm still just scrolling through. What's my favorite part of Happily Ever After? A great question for when we watch Happily Ever After. I'll let you know then. But I can already tell you now. It's, for me, with Happily Ever After, it's when Tinkerbell flies. I love the fireworks. Like, I love in Wishes when, Tinkerbell flies at the beginning. But there's something about Happily Ever After, like, making that the climax of the entire show. Is like,
Yeah.
It makes it so much more epic in a way. That's just me, though. So, what camera settings do I use to shoot fireworks? Boring? No, it depends on what equipment I have on. So I shoot all my fireworks now with my Sony A7S II. My primary lens I use is it's a f4 16 to 35 millimeter. So most of the time if I'm close up, I'm shooting in 16 millimeter. If I'm a little bit closer up, I'm more at like around 28. So that's basically the range that I'm going on in terms of the zoom. Because the f-stop is so high, I'm shooting right at 4, and then usually my ISO is somewhere around maybe 2,000, 3,000, give or take. But if I'm using my fixed 28 millimeter lens, then that's f2, then I have to use the ISO a little bit lower because that gets really nice and hot. But oh man, that's me being a nerd. For anyone who figured it out, nerd. Lonnie, will you do live commentary over the other Parks Fireworks show? Yeah, we will. So we'll try to make this at least a semi-regular Friday night tradition, especially right now. So once we go back to our normal lives, I don't know how much we'll be able to make it happen, but for right now, while we're doing this, I think that's it could be a pretty good tradition. So, Donna, what are each of your favorite fireworks shows at Disney parks? What's your favorite one?
Oh, gosh. I like the Star Wars fireworks at Hollywood Studios. That's fun.
They are fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like those. Obviously, Happily Ever After's pretty swell. I know I'm in the Epcot Forever camp that a lot of people aren't in.
I haven't seen that yet.
You haven't seen it yet? Yeah.
Cool.
The last time
Cool.
I wanted you to go with me, you were like, So that happened.
Oops.
But, what? Yeah, for the most part, I like the ones that Disneyland does. Like, I was one of the very few people, I think, who actually liked the Together Forever, a Pixar Fest fireworks show.
Oh, that was really good.
I liked sorry, I'm pulling the mics or the headphones away from us here. I really liked the 50th anniversary fireworks for Disneyland and the 60th anniversary ones.
Yeah, how were those?
Those ones were great.
Yeah, thank you.
That's one of our best stories. So I'm just going to tell it. I'm the terrible person in this. So everyone thinks I'm terrible anyway. So I'll let them keep thinking it.
Oh my gosh, stop.
So for our honeymoon, we were on a Backstage Magic trip that Pete asked us if we would go and represent the Diz on. And basically we spent every single night with all our friends that we were making on the trip and such, and it was a great time. And then the one time where we had like a free moment of downtime where we could go and do something away from the group, where everyone had that downtime on the trip, we ended up going to a brewery, and then we were going to be able to meet up with the group to watch the fireworks and the parade. And we ended up like, it was one of those things where we're like, okay, we're only going to go and have one beer and we're going to sit there and then we'll head back over. But then the people who were bartending, they hosted a Hey Arnold podcast, and we just got into this long conversation with them. And it was like hours later, we're like, oh, we've got to go. We already missed Paint the Night, but we've got to get to the parade. And so then we rushed we missed the parade, and we had to get to the fireworks, and we walked in through the turnstiles, and the fireworks started, and we could not even get a view. It was so busy that night, we couldn't get a view where we could even see the projections on Main Street. So we stood in the back and listened to them, and
I sat on a bench and pouted like a brat.
Yeah, and I flat out was like, it's not a big deal. They're going to run just like Remember Dreams Come True did. They're going to run for the next 10 years. It's fine. You're going to get to see them again.
I never got to see them.
You didn't. And then the one time, then they brought them back this past summer. And I was like, okay, this is perfect. We're going to try to take a trip out where you get to see them. And because we did go out for Halloween this year, but they ended like the month before we went out for Halloween. So you didn't get to see them then either. So we will get there one day.
Maybe.
To the 60th anniversary fireworks. I'm sorry. Because of that, I got really behind here. So I'm going to scroll down until I catch back up a little bit. Uh, I know a lot of people have been asking about like mood in Orlando and how we're doing. We're doing the right thing, and that's staying out, staying in, away from people, staying out of people's way is what I
Correct.
was trying to
Yes.
say. So I don't know what the mood is because I haven't interacted with anyone out in public besides the people in our neighborhood.
Which we wave to and say hi.
Exactly.
But that's about it. And plus, we're not like in the heart of Orlando by any stretch, so we kind of live in suburbs, so that's been good.
So where can you watch our other videos? If you are meaning like fireworks and stuff, that's over at youtube.com/WDW info. That's where all of our actual fireworks and parades and overview videos and ride throughs. That's where all of those are. And then this is all the personality stuff, if that's what you want to call us. But yeah, that's where you can find those all. And I guess I'll take this opportunity to give a plug if you haven't been reading my daily articles that I'm doing Monday through Friday over on the Diz. I'm doing a daily Disney video fix where I basically give you a summary of what shows we're releasing each day, as well as a video over on the Diz that we're releasing, and then also a random pick that I chose just from any realm of Disney to give you something else to whet your appetite during these times. So I've done 5 of them now. I started on Monday, and I've been doing one every single day of the week. And I get it, the black lung.
The black lung pup.
So yeah, you should start reading it when I do those. So it's I know a lot of people are already reading or they're watching our shows that we put out every day and maybe watching the show or the video we put up on the Diz, but I give a lot of insight in them, kind of like I do with we did with this with the fireworks. With the Diz ones, I'll tell you about why I shot it, the angles, what went wrong, stuff like that. Or with the show, like a good example is then on Thursday's article, I wrote about the best and worst and how it took us 3 times to get that episode out to where it was. And it was, Rhino had to do everything he could to put it together. And like, he forgot to put in one response from Fiasco at one point just because there was so much trimming and cutting. And because of that, people are just tearing apart Rhino for it. So you get that kind of information. And then on top of that, and I'll stop talking about the articles, but Jackie and Denny are also putting out a daily article that's, just their thoughts and feelings and randomness. So please read all of those. It's good entertainment, and you get a little different out of a little bit of different entertainment out of each one of them. So let's keep coming back up. Do I think Walt Disney World will have special fireworks show for the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World? That's a good question. It would make sense because it's an epic year, but...
It would make sense, but like right now I don't think they would because of...
Not even... I mean, the 50th anniversary is in 2021. The celebration for that will start either in May or October based on when they start other ones. So that's a far way away. The bigger question is, at that point, Happily Ever After is running 4 to 5 years. Is it really too... That's like too soon to pull that show away for a full year for a celebration.
Why not?
Is there a dog or cat there?
There's a dog right here.
Yeah.
He's kind of asleep.
Elvis is asleep on the floor behind me. World of Color is overrated, Steven? No, it's not. Do you think it is? Not Villainous. Not the terrible show we saw at the Halloween party.
I loved World of Color. It's beautiful.
Okay.
It is. I don't know. I don't think it's overrated. It's beautiful.
That's
okay.
That's fine. I just wanted.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure. Can we work on a Diz Meets Hamilton livecast featuring us, Rhino, Nick, and Fergie? I'll be honest. I have been thinking about that, so I need to float it by Fergie and Nick. So, but I did think about it pretty quickly after after our stuff kind of got shut down a little bit with everything happening, and they're both Broadway performers, and so their shows are temporarily shut down. So I was thinking, how can we get it together? And they're doing stuff, so I can probably find time to get them in if they're willing to do it. They are amazing people, so I'm assuming that they will.
Yeah.
Did I figure out what happened to my eyes on their last cruise vlog? No, but they just went back to normal the next day for the most part.
You seriously should have gone and gotten them looked at. They were so scary.
It was gross.
You freaked me out.
My head hurt so bad from it too. Like, I've never had such a bad headache.
You looked terrifying. I didn't even want to be in the room.
Yeah. No, if you haven't seen that, I'm not going to put a link in or anything, so
Scared me.
Oh, he jumped up behind you? Yeah, I'm not going to put a link into it or anything, but if you find our Christmas cruise vlogs that we did from this past year from the cruise that Disney put us on, the day that I was on Castaway Key, I either got my eyes sunburnt or I got sand in them or salt water or something, and I just it was awful. It was really, really bad. The 50th anniversary includes summer 2021. I think it will. I think they would be smarter to start the celebration in May, especially considering Disney likes to. They don't necessarily start celebrations on May, but Memorial Day weekend, they always usually have something big happening, whether it was like, that was when Toy Story Land was supposed to open, but they missed the deadline on that by a bit. Pandora opened that Memorial Day time period. They had the 1 year with like the new Move It, Shake It, and the Pixar area in Hollywood Studios. They had that all open up right around Memorial Day. So I feel like Memorial Day is a good time, and they know summer is going to get some people, so why not?
Elvis is so cute.
Elvis is cute. We agree. That's why we got him. He's a cockapoo, so I'm glad you noticed the spaniel in him. But connecting with Michael is getting on. So he is. I got a voicemail from him earlier, and I listened to it, and he sounded a lot better. And not like he's not ready to get going or anything, but in the voicemail, he told me that he thinks that he hopes to be good enough for next week to record a little segment with me over the phone. Not a full show, but just check in and talk to everyone and say hi and thank you and such. So he might be able to do that next week, but still not quite there. And I told him like 3 hours ago I tried to get around to calling him back, and I have been swamped, so I haven't gotten to that yet. So, but I will hopefully talk to Michael tonight and then not get in touch with people, but give an update the next time we do one of these. But the bobbleheads behind me, those are right there. So that is the one that my finger is on right now is a Pittsburgh Steelers bobblehead that I got from a game probably like 1995 or so. My first Steelers game I think my dad took me to, and that's what I chose. It might have been one of the mid ones, but that was from an early game. And then the other four, all in the line, those are Pittsburgh Pirate bobbleheads that were from a special giveaway at the game from 4 different games through a season. I want to say maybe like 2010. And I am not a Pirates fan, but I do love collecting junk.
You're a Braves fan, right?
I am a Reds fan.
A Braves fan. It's the superior team.
Or as people joke, when I say people, I mean Todd, will joke that I am a fan of the Reds, Pirates, Braves, Los Angeles Dodgers, New York Yankees, and 10 other teams in that order.
To try to
Cleveland Indians as well, too.
Every hat
I still plan on doing that.
No.
Yeah.
Please.
A different, every hat for every baseball team from their stadiums that I've gotten to go to is what I want to do one day. He wants to be on the screen.
He is a
so.
star.
He
Look
is.
at him. Yes.
But yeah, so I got those at the games. I think I had to buy one on eBay, but I went to one game, I think the second bobblehead in the group, and then I was like, well, I have to have all of them now. And so I have... Good boy. You're a good boy.
He's a star. Look at him. He's so cute.
You're a very good boy. So yeah, that's why I have those. And then I have a couple other bobbleheads from Penguins games and other random places all around. My shirt, it's not a tiki shirt from Disneyland. It is from Castaway Cay. So that's the little heads of the characters. That's from the big... I don't know what they are.
Buoys?
They're kind of like, the big metal buoys that sit out. Okay, we're just going to do a couple more here because I'm getting thirsty. Tony, I do not have a Mets hat yet because I have not been to where the Mets play baseball.
What did you have for lunch on Wednesday?
And what did I have for lunch on Wednesday?
Yeah, what did you have?
What did we have for lunch?
Leftover... Spaghetti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds about right. I have not been to Angel Stadium either yet. I've never seen a game in Anaheim. I've driven past it multiple times, but have not been there. And I have not been to the Rays game yet, too.
Can you give a fun fact?
Ryan, I'm trying to think about... You said give a fun fact about FJ from someone who only worked there. I'm trying to think through, but...
I feel like there's not that many that haven't been told about FJ.
That's the thing. There was a person while I worked there that basically we had a binder there with everything you needed to know as well as our operations. And I know that they put that out on the internet. And so a lot of the secrets and stuff that were kind of recorded and supposed to be told while we were going through training, those all got out there. So there's not really a lot there. So the only secrets that I usually tell people it's also stuff that's pretty straightforward, but I like to tell people that pretty much on the benches that you sit on, there's probably not a square inch of any of them that has not been puked on at one point in time.
And it's not easy to clean.
No, and chances are there's still puke somewhere.
No.
Even if you thought you cleaned it all, you will still be able to find some. So okay, we're gonna finish here with... We'll answer this one first from Catherine. Are you originally from Florida? No. I one of my mottos is never trust a person who is from Florida originally and stayed. I'm joking.
I know, really. I'm from Georgia, so born and raised.
And I was born in Ohio, spent most of my life in Pennsylvania, lived a little bit back again in Ohio, and then I've been here. I'm going on, August will be 10 years. 10 years in Florida, which is
a little
insane.
over 8 years.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Okay.
How long has Craig had a beard? When I met Craig, he didn't have a beard and he had a baby face and it was so cute. And then he went on a trip to Cincinnati, I think.
Yes.
And then he came back with a beard and he's basically had one since, except one time I forced him into going to a dance and he said the only way he would do it is if he shaved a mustache.
Not a dance. It was an award ceremony. And yeah, so I shaved off the beard into a mustache. I kept the stubble though.
It was awful.
Yeah. And I've done the mustache, I think, I know I've done the mustache a couple more times, and then I also shaved my beard when
you did Tim the Toolman Taylor.
When on the Universal Edition podcast, when it was maybe 2016 October, we did for Halloween, we dressed up as home improvement characters. So I was Tim and Rhino was Al, of course.
Of course.
Because it fits. And then we got Oliver to dress up as Heidi. And it is one of the scariest things you can ever see. So
He
go
was
back.
beautiful.
Go back and watch that at some point. He looked just plain terrifying.
Yes, Macon.
Megan.
Macon, Georgia.
Yeah. So.
And the part of Georgia I'm from is just outside of Atlanta. So, Lilburn.
Yeah.
No one's heard of it.
Quarantine mustache?
No, please, no.
Yeah.
You do need to shave, though, real bad.
Yeah, so I got my beard trimmed and taken care of before the wedding that we were in a month ago now, and
I can't believe it.
it's my beard is growing back like rapidly, but it needs trimmed. But I now that I've gone through the actual art of getting a nice, well manicured beard trim and such, like I guess I like being somewhat pampered a little bit, and that could be a way to do it. Like, I'm not a spa guy. Don't touch me. I don't.
Our friend sent me a picture, and literally Craig is sitting up in the chair, and he's like asleep, like while he's getting his shave. I was like, cute.
I like that, but I just can't. I don't like spas. There was nothing I hated more than when we had to go in the rainforest room on our cruise. Like that. Oh, that was terrible. I was so uncomfortable the entire time, but apparently I like shaves, so wow.
I don't know. Stone Mountain.
Love to see thoughts on Paris, Tokyo. I unfortunately, Kylie and I haven't been to Tokyo or Shanghai or...
I haven't been to Paris. He has.
I've been to Paris. Disney literally paid for me to go a couple years back in 2018. I actually just posted a video of the parade that I shot there today. And it was because I'm still going through my footage on that, but they sent me out for the Fan Days event that happened and paid for my airfare and hotel and park tickets. Like it is the only time that I ever felt like not worthy of what they were putting me through, because it also all came up within like a week of travel. Like it was I looked at the airfare rates because I was like, maybe Kylie could go with me, and it's like, okay, $10,000 for a last second plane ticket. So I did, I think, one audio podcast with Michael talking about Paris, but it might be something I do more of those while we're kind of down right now, because I don't think I ever did really go over Paris too much, especially on video, besides the overview vlogs that I released. So yeah, that's that. You know what, someone pointed out that one of our dogs might needs to go out, and I think that they might have been right about Crosby too, but
no,
I just heard him whine. But
okay.
what were you going to point out?
Someone asked if we did copycat dishes. I can't cook. It's very bad. I'm trying very hard, but it's really not good.
Yeah, I don't really cook Disney dishes at home.
I literally know where that Kroger is. That's funny.
That is
Jet
funny.
dry. Was it worth it?
What was I? Oh, the copycat dishes. No, I don't think the closest I come. When I cook ribeyes at home, I use a coffee seasoning on it, because when Antojitos at Universal opened up years and years ago in 2013, the thing we loved the most is in the upstairs portion that was like the swankier, more adult-centric part of the restaurant that had a different, more elaborate menu. They had a coffee rubbed ribeye that was
so good.
excellent. So now when I cook ribeye at home, I have to use a coffee rub on it. That's the only copycat dish I have. The Paris video, the overviews and parade and stuff that I've posted, those are all on the Diz, but the Paris video itself is on this channel, the Diz Unplugged channel. I just, if you search Disneyland Paris, it would pop up, but I'll try to remember to post links to some of the stuff that we've talked about in this along the way. So the dog does need to go out, so I'm gonna answer this one last question, and it comes from H Parks. Is it wrong for me to have 9 empty Coca-Cola cans on your desk right now? No.
I support your cause.
No, I would too. If if I had Coke Zero in the house, which I don't, I would have probably. I'm surprised I have no cans in front of me right now. I have 2 glasses, but
I think I got rid of them all. You're welcome.
yeah, but I would. Yeah, I am a slob when it comes to my desk. Uh, and okay, since I already opened that can of worms with the coffee grounds and stuff from H Parks again. The coffee rub that I use from Florida, we have our barbecue chain, Four Rivers. We do have, they make a coffee rub that they use for their meats, and I use that on my steaks and such. But before I was able to start buying those, I would just rub it with coffee. So I would do a coarse ground coffee, and then it kind of set in there and cook all nice. So it's easy to do on your own. But yeah, I I I like Four Rivers. If you're in Florida, the seasoning that they sell in Publix and places,
good.
it's actually pretty spot on. And I thought I just saw one more thing that I was going to. What?
Oh, I don't know. I was just.
Fierce, we'll answer your question about traveling overseas probably the next time we do this. Because, yeah, the dog's got to go. So we're going to go too. So thank you guys for tuning in for with us tonight here for this Fireworks Friday that I said it's only going to be 30 minutes and just turned into an hour. Look what happens.
Oopsies.
I don't know if we'll do this again next week, but we will try to do this at another Friday soon here and
Yeah.
bring us some fireworks and some fun and yeah, some good times. So
Thanks for tuning in.
yeah, and we'll see you again very soon. So bye guys.